blueprint that we've laid out for you that is so impactful and so important. So really the keys to retention really do start with leadership and management. They start with the decisions that we make, the things we choose to do as the leaders, the visionaries of the organization, the things that we talk about with our team that are important to us. I'll give you a story. So before I started with BBC Global Services, I worked for a healthcare organization. In fact, this is an organization that is to why I'm currently working for BBC Global Services, because we utilize the service. We utilize the outsourcing team in order to help work for our call center, in order to be able to help us to be able to answer phone calls, take patient inquiries, ask about orders that were going on, set incoming appointments, make outbound phone calls to patients who have fallen off of the retention list and set them back on the provider schedule. And BBC Global Services, one, was able to help augment and some of our cost, of course. But then one of the other things that I like so much about it is that I had a report that I could see what the team was performing and how they were performing. And so I could give critical feedback from a place of number and KPI versus saying, you're doing this wrong. I could look at the situation and say, hey, we've got something that's off here. Can you help me understand what's going on? And by asking the right question, the team member was able a lot of times to solve the problem on their own. And so having the right leadership and management in place matters. Then setting clear targets matter. Knowing your numbers matter, and selecting the right employee matters to retention. I'll give you one more story and then we'll move on to the next slide. But my wife and I took a trip one time to Hawaii. And when we were in Hawaii, one of the things we were able to do, we were fortunate enough to be on a catamaran with a group of a whole bunch of other people. And we went out and we were going to go snorkeling off this catamaran in Hawaii. Beautiful scenery, the mountains, the whole 9 yards. So I put the snorkel on for the first time. The mask is, you got to do all the stuff with the mask. You got to spit in the mask. It's so gross, but whatever. That's what you do. And then you put the wetsuit on or whatever. Then you put the mask on. Then you hop in the water. So I'm swimming in the water and it's beautiful down there. I see the beautiful scenery. I see the fishes. Then I start to see the eels and I look over to my left and there's this giant thing over to my left. I'm like, ah, and I realize it's just the boat anchor. Sometimes the things that scare us, guys, are oftentimes just something that's holding us down, keeping us back, holding us from moving forward.